Okay, everybody, good day. What we're looking at here is the Alternator 1995 ZJ. Alternator done took a crap. Time to change it out. Now, throughout my little bit of times of cranking wrenches, people know I work on cars quite a bit. Occasionally, we get to strip out. Hence, I got a spare alternator. So, whenever you can get free parts, people giving you cars to haul off, whatever, strip all the parts you can off. So, first thing we need to do, we're getting this compressor broke loose. Then we gotta get the belt loose and get this thing off there. So first thing you want to do, see, this is your power steering pump here on this side. This bolt here, and sure that one's okay. Then you got a bolt back here in the back. I'll get the camera back here you can see. Right there, that bolt here. After you break them loose, way down here, below the power steering pump, there's another bolt right there. That's your tensioner. You gotta back that one out. Now, also, before you guys get off Froggy, back there, there's one more bolt you gotta take care of. And let me stick the camera way down here, you'll see it. Not sure if the light's picking it up right. Right there at the end of my finger. Yeah, right there. That bolt right there has to be loosened up before you can be able to loosen the tensioner. So where it's at, see, there's the front of the power steering pump. And way down here is the bolt. So that one's got to be loose here before you can loosen the tensioner. So let's get that power steering pump loosened up. Okay, power steering pump's loose, and we got the belt loosened up, and we got ahead of ourselves, pulled the AC bracket off, AC compressor off. And you see we got a couple broken bolts, so we got to deal with that. But actually, before you pull the start pulling the alternator, be sure you pull the negative side of your battery post, because sometimes sparks equals, well, stuff get messed up. So pull the negative side of your battery before you do anything. Okay, you can see we got the front bolt out right here. It takes a 15mm both front and back, and what you got is a bolt that goes all the way through it like this. 15mm. You have to get a wrench on the back side back up in here to get it out. And as far as we're going to drill, the air conditioning didn't work anyway, so we're not even going to bother. We're going to go get a belt that does not run air. Not even worry about it, put the compressor back on. So now, once you get those two bolts out, you got another one way down the bottom. And right here is your hot battery cable. But honestly, once you get the alternator unbolted, pull it out, and you can get to your cabling a lot easier. Alright, your bottom bolt, okay, here's the camera, is diving into the depths of the engine bay. Alright, see right there? There's your bottom bolt. You can see your pulley right there, and bottom bolt right there. So you want to get that thing out of there. Alright, oftentimes when you get those bolts out, there is I'll show you when I get it out, there's actually a little bushing back here that squeezes together when you tighten the bolts. It makes a bit of a bear to come out of there. So you see how he's got this ratchet leverage against the top of this and pushing down on the alternator and just kind of bumping it. It'll bring an alternator right out. But you see that bushing right there? What it's designed to do, finger. Oops, sorry. Beep. There. When the bolt comes in, you tighten the bolt up, it squeezes all this together. It moves this bushing in, it squeezes on this bracket right here that holds it all in place. So that makes it kind of cumbersome to come out. And so basically you just kind of have to wedge it out. Now going back in, this bushing is a kind of a pain in the tail also. But I'll show you guys a trick for that. So back in a minute.
Back in there?
Don't worry about it.
Pull it out the back.
Okay, see a moment ago how we had it positioned. Whenever I showed him how this little bushing works, and he slammed the alternator on my finger. Yeah, I'm going to leave him have help with this. What he did, push the alternator back like that. to get past this bracket, then you rotate it. Now you can get to all your electronics, all your wires. You can take those wires off and bring the alternator on out. So basically, now what you got here, you got your ground wire here. Take these two out and your hot battery post here, or a hot battery cable, you know what I mean. So yeah, you got these two, ground, that, and you're loose.
Do I need to put that back on there?
Nah. What size was it?
10mm.
Alright. Okay, here's the breakdown. These two right here are 9/32. These are 10mm, and your battery post, your battery cable here, that's a 10mm. So once you get all of them off, this bolt right here kind of hides from you, because actually we took these off and we're tugging and pulling, figuring what the crap, it ain't coming off. To come to realize that this whole plug is being held on back here also. I've told it, as many Cherokees and Wranglers I've been through, you would have thought I'd remember that, but no, I had a brain fart. So anyway, it's out of there. And there's the extraction. It is now pulled out, and we're putting that one back in. Well, everyone, the old alternator was going to put on that stripped off an old Cherokee. Turned out to be bad. We took it, we had to get another belt anyway because we're short belting this setup, taking out the AC system. While we were there, we went and tested the alternator just to be sure before we went to the trouble bolting on. It turned out to be bad. So, new alternator going in. Alright, I mentioned earlier about this little bushing right here. This has already been driven back. What you need to do is get you a extension. Come in here, bring it at an angle. Bring that extension right here, take a hammer and tap it back side of the extension. Just tap it, and you'll watch this little bushing move backward. That'll allow you to bolt that back in like it needs to be. So, you can see we're getting rained on, so we're gonna get this baby slapped in real quick. Thought it was recording, it wasn't. Anyway, alright, take two. Alright, got your electronics bolted back on. Our wiring, here's your ground. Over here is the little bolt that holds all this right here on. Make sure you get everything good and tight. But do not over tighten. You don't want to twist anything in two. So now what we're going to do is take the alternator, pick it up, rotate it this way, and come in this way. Because these two ears right here has to go here. So we're going to rotate this baby in place and put her in. Alright, you see how he's got it rotated into place. Now he's fixing to slide it. It's got a pivot off right there. See where we put it? Alright, and you know, if we'd have been really smart, we'd have had the bolt ready, just slid it in there. So I'm going to quit gabbing with the camera, but you see what's going on. So now we're going to take the bolt, we're going to slide it through there. Hey everybody, I got to give you guys a little confession. Let me show you something, a little trick. This doesn't always work, so bear that in mind, okay? I showed you guys at the beginning of the video where to loosen up the power steering pump, to loosen up your belt. All this stuff is true. Sometimes you get lucky, and we did. You couldn't imagine how lucky we just got. Alright, we removed the AC compressor here, and we just got a wild hair in our tails saying, hey, let's just remove the AC compressor and let the belt fall loose, not even worry about the power steering pump. We wasn't putting the AC back in because didn't want to run the air, so we went got the short belt, which, you know, basically what you do is you go to your auto parts store and say, hey, I want a belt for one that does not have air. There you go. Removed the pulley that was down here, and actually that pulley and the belt that come off this is going to go on my YJ. And you're saying why? Because I'm going to do an onboard air setup, and I need those parts to do mine. So I bought this belt for him, and we stuck the alternator on. But here's what we did. I showed you guys how the alternator came in. Run the bolt in. The alternator pivots here. Okay, it pivots off its bolt. Take the belt, run it around the pulley. Now, you see what he's doing here with this bar, he sticks it in. But people, seriously, be careful with this little trick, because if you put too much pressure on this, you can actually crack the case. But when you prod the bar a little bit, it makes the alternator rock like this. So he rocked it just in the right spot, and that bottom bolt right there, we'll put it in, no problem. Did not have to loosen the power steering pump. Like I said, there's days you get lucky and days you just don't. That's all you can say for it. This is one of those days where we really scored, got lucky. So you just prod it off in there a little bit, it pivots out, stick that bottom bolt in. You don't even have to fool with the power steering pump over there, because I'll backlink to my other video where we changed the power steering pump on this. You'll see how to adjust the power steering pump, which also adjusts the tension on the belt. So I'll backlink to that if you guys need to see that, if you do need to see it. But we did this little trick just out of sheer chance. Hey, hopefully it worked, and it did. So we rocked that one. So only thing we got to do at this point now, we're putting the battery back in and fire it up. Alright everybody, there you go, 95 ZJ Grand Cherokee. Changed the alternator out on him. Pretty neat little trick of putting the belt back on. It doesn't always work. Sometimes you get lucky. This is one of those times where we did. But if you do start prying on that alternator case, just be careful, because you can pry too hard and you can bust the case. And sometimes, if you don't have a pretty cool bunch of people at the auto parts store, they may not warrant it, because it's pretty obvious when you do that. So just be careful if you decide to do that on your own terms, at your own risk. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And if you got any questions, comments, whatever, feel free to leave them down below. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Whenever you subscribe, I'll make a video, I'll push it up to YouTube, you get an email that says, yo, you made another one, go check it out. So be sure to do that. But after you do your subscribes, comments, and the thumbs up for the likes, go to www.fixjeeps.com. Go check out the site. Got a lot of great information there. You really want to go check it out, bookmark it, save it in your favorites or whatever browser you happen to be using, do it. And be sure to share too. Share it as in Google+, your own YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those other social media sites. Share the knowledge. When you share the knowledge, you're helping people. You're helping people is what we also do. So check out the site, share everything out. But most of all, everybody, I'm freezing my butt off. It's been raining. We're going in. So you after YouTube land, peace out. Have a good day. Later.